I'm so glad that I decided to follow my calling and trust my intuition, even though I didn't always do it perfectly and still don't. And I've learned to be okay with that. But I've learned a few things along the way that I'd like to share with you to give you some inspiration to follow your own calling and trust your own intuition, even when things get hard. And the first thing that I learned was that sometimes it will seem to have no logic to it. It may seem like you're going by blind faith at first, and that's okay. It just kind of feels that way. You'll start to get more and more comfortable with that. And what I mean by that is, logically, it didn't make sense for me to do this work because, yes, there are higher paying jobs where I can help people, but they're not my calling. And also, it didn't make sense for me until years later to study where I studied because it was farther away from my house. But it began to make sense very quickly. So the important thing is to trust that inspiration, trust that intuition, that guiding light within you, because you don't know where it will take you, and you don't know what's waiting for you once you do trust it. Another thing that was helpful on my path in learning to trust my intuition and follow my calling was to surround myself with supportive, like-minded people, because there are just going to be some people out there who don't understand what you're doing, and even if they understand it on an intellectual level, they can't guide you in the same way that someone who has that direct experience can, and they can't support you in the same way that other people having the same direct experience can. And some people might disagree with that, and that's okay, but that's what I've come to learn. And they can also help you to navigate, these like-minded people can help you to navigate the different challenges that might come up on your path, whether it's a spiritual path or whether it's another calling altogether. It's perfectly okay, but it's important to surround yourself with those like-minded people. Otherwise, you might end up feeling a little bit isolated and alone and even confused if you don't know what the next step is. And that brings me to the next thing is, yes, surround yourself with a group of like-minded people. Join a group of like-minded people. And don't be afraid to continue to invest in yourself. Hire a coach. Find someone who can guide you through the ups and downs of things, because there are so many people on this planet right now who I guarantee you, are doing a similar thing to you. And it's no accident that that happened. We're not meant to go through our calling and walk our entire path alone. Yes, there will be some times on our spiritual journey or on our path in life where it will feel like we're alone, and maybe we need that alone time to recharge. But we also need to be surrounded by that support. And that will also help you as the fears and doubts start to come up, as they tend to do. The mind plays some awful tricks on us. And when that happens, other people can support you through that, or they can even just be there to listen, tell you about a time when they went through a similar struggle, give you some tools to deal with it effectively. And lastly, I learned that it was no accident that I was given the abilities that I was given, even though I felt at one time that it was kind of a curse to feel things as strongly as I did, to have these experiences of spirit and not know what to do with it. And at one time, I even prayed to God to take my abilities away. And of course, that didn't happen, and here I am. And that's because it's no accident that I was drawn to working with them. I am sending you so much love and many blessings.